One Piece manga creator Eiichiro Oda. Story is about 65% finished. The second issue of Dying One Piece Shimbun promotional publication printed an interview with One Piece creator Eiichiro Oda on Wednesday. In the interview, Oda states that he has finished around 65% of the manga. He adds that he cannot do any more long stories besides One Piece. Oda previously mentioned in a previous issue of the One Piece Shimbun in 2012 that he has finished around 60% of the story. So people, that is some pretty big news. Now, of course, there'll be a link in the box below to the article where you can read the entire article for yourself. Now, I do want to mention 3 things in this video, and 2 of them are fairly important when it comes to the potential longevity of the series of One Piece. So, first of all, last year, around the same time, it was stated by, I think, like the 8th or 9th editor of One Piece, something like that, that the series was around 70% done. Now we're getting word from Oda himself, apparently this year, that the series is around 65% done. So last year, the editor was kind of right, where like we're around the 70 ballpark, but this year it's confirmed, it's 65% done. So the exact percentage, no one's too sure. Probably not even Oda himself, because things may vary. So, let me talk about this right now. The longevity of the series of One Piece. How many years are left? In the article, it's mentioned. In 2012, Oda had an interview where he stated that the series was around 60% done. Now, this year's 2016, 4 years later. And 4 years later is 5% added on towards the completion of the series. So we're at 65% as of this year. So potentially speaking, if we equate every 4 years for 5% of the story's completion, and we have 35% of the story remaining, that means that we have 28 years of the story left. That is, if we're going to assume that it is going to be full frontal 4 years, 5%. Now, this may vary for a host of factors, which I'll explain relatively soon. However, if we look at this from a bare bones standpoint, again, every 4 years it's 5%. We have 35% remaining, therefore we have 28 years some odd of One Piece left. And again, the article is titled about 65%, so it could vary. It could be like 68, it could be like 62 or 63, who knows? But it's about 65%. What is crazy about that is 28 years, potentially, of One Piece left. Oda, he's not exactly a spring chicken. Oda, he's in like his late 30s, mid 40s, late 30s, early 40s. So, potentially speaking, Oda will be done with this story by his mid to late 60s. Mid to late 60s. So of course in the article when he states, I cannot do any long series aside from One Piece, no shit, you'll be in your mid to late 60s, potentially speaking, when One Piece is done. When you finish the story of One Piece. At that point in time, you don't have any more time or energy to afford to do any more long series. It's not possible. There's no way in hell. Unless the guy is truly a god. Unless he's truly wearing the Jesus sandals. Unless he's truly Goda, where he's going to live for like an additional 200 years. I don't see how he can do any more long-going series by then. I mean, dude, by then, I will be in my 40s. Possibly early 50s. I mean, that is the potential longevity of One Piece. However, this may fluctuate because I don't think that Oda's going to go for nigh 3 decades. I mean, I'll probably say 2, possibly, at earliest 1.5 decades to the completion of One Piece, given the current trend of the story. So, that's my guess, because I don't think Oda wants to be in One Piece for that long, but who knows? We'll have to wait and see how it rolls out. However, it could be longer. Oda could go into his 70s when it comes to the finish line for One Piece. And the reason why is, as of late, and this is my third point, as of late, Oda has been taking a few breaks, I think like 1 break a month. And of course, there are holidays, and Oda himself, he may get sick because being a mangaka is a fairly stressful job, and a lot of mangaka get sick over the course of their career, so they take a few weeks or a month off, something like that. And then who knows what's going to happen in Oda's life to where he has to put on hold a chapter or 2 or 3 or 4. So potentially speaking, it could be even longer given life, given just stuff happening when it comes to his own body, when it comes to his wife, when it comes to whatever. So we don't know truly at what point in time One Piece will end. We can estimate. And again, I think somewhere around 2 decades is like the end mark, given the way One Piece is going right now. At the earliest, a decade and a half. I don't think he'll go for 3. I think that's too much. For the dude to be around, like, let's say, like, early 70s and still plugging out One Piece chapters? No, his body can't handle that. No. Again, understand here that the stress of being a mangaka is fairly high. I mean, see what it's done to Togashi. Ooh, Togashi's the hiatus king for a reason. Because the stress of being a mangaka, he just can't cope with it mentally. And we've seen Oda, we've seen many mangaka take breaks because of the stress of their work. It's not an uncommon thing. So to have that level of stress when you're that age, there's no way Oda can handle that. At least I don't think he could. So that being said, people, I am done. Once again, the article link will be in the box below. We are 65% done with the story. We are almost 3/4 of the way to the finish line, and that's pretty insane, knowing that One Piece, it's been going on forever, but it still has potentially so much more time till its completion, and yet ultimately one day it will end. All good things must come to an end. It is what it is. So King Lightning, rate the video, comment, and subscribe as always. I will see you guys and gals later for the live reaction and the chapters of One Piece and whatnot. All hail Goda. Peace. Have a nice goddamn day. I do want to add this addendum to this recording of the video that I did not do in the previous recording of the video, because it is fairly important to know when it comes to the potential time span of the series. So if you look at the current time life of the series, it's around like 21 years. So we have 35% of the story left. So that could be around 8, possibly a decade left if you look at it from that standpoint. And I do want to know is that possibly the reason why the 5% of the story that we saw covered between 2012 and now, 2016, the reason why only 5% was covered in those 4 years is because Dressrosa was going on during that time span, and Dressrosa is the longest arc in One Piece. So since Dressrosa was dragged out for so long, my guess here is that Eiichiro Oda did not anticipate for Dressrosa to be that long. That's my guess. So maybe that's the reason why it was 5% for only 4 years. Whereas given like the previous trend of the series, 5% probably would have been like, let's say, a year or 2 years, something like that. When you look at it from that standpoint, where One Piece has been around for 21 or 20 years, those 21 some odd years were the 65% of the series. So the 35% of the series remaining would be around 8 to 9 years. So you can look at it from that standpoint as well. Though odds are that if Eiichiro Oda misinterpreted, if he misjudged the amount of time it took to do Dressrosa, this could easily happen in the future as well. So again, there are a lot of ways that you can look at this, but ultimately, people, we are 65% through One Piece. It is what it is. So that being said, I'm done. King Lightning, rate the video, comment, subscribe. Have a nice goddamn day.